Ski Reviews. I'm Nathan, and today we're going to talk about the Volkl Mantra M7. This ski is 96 underfoot. It is a poplar beech wood core and has a couple partial metal laminates that, run around the edges on the tips and tails, and then there's a sheet underfoot, and those don't connect. There's like a break in the metal there that allow the ski to kind of bend in front and behind the bindings. It also has the carbon tips from Volkl. This is a really fun ski. I've skied this guy twice now, I guess. Once at a demo ski event with like a couple inches of fresh snow on soft groomers, and then again today in spring-esque snow, which was extremely firm in the morning, followed by slushy in the afternoon, and then the wind came in and really firmed it up, and it became really nice and edgeable, kind of like a fresh POW or fresh pack POW groomer. And it was it was a really variable day that gave me kind of a broad spectrum of experiences with this ski outside of proper fresh snow. Like I've never skied more than a couple inches of fresh snow on this, so I don't know about its powder performance. I do own the little brother of the ski, the Volkl Kendo, which is the same as the Mantra 88 of this year. They haven't changed anything about that ski since the generation that I have, which is a couple of years old. This it's really interesting. I was looking at the Kendo and looking at this M7 next to each other and kind of trying to see if they changed anything, and I did notice a few things with this ski. So from the M6 to the M7, because I believe the Kendo and the M6 had the same profile as far as splay and everything there. This new M7 generation actually has less splay, so less height of rocker in both the tip and the tail. They also have, the binding is set back just like a tiny little bit. I think it was like 11.9 and now it's like 12.2 or something like that. So it's just ever so slightly further back on this ski compared to the last ski. And then what else? It's just a touch lighter. So slightly lighter than the previous generation, like a handful of grams, 30 grams or something like that. Nothing to write home about. It's basically the same as far as weight. So it's pretty interesting. This ski has very little splay in the tip, but it's super long and super low, like you kill the camber underfoot and it goes way down there. And then the tail splay is here, and then with camber kill it's all the way down to there. So this has an extremely long, extremely low splay rocker profile. It is a surprisingly maneuverable ski. I was expecting to kind of fight this ski a little more, and it is surprisingly maneuverable, and maybe that has something to do with their new 4 radius drive. They used to have a 3D radius, which was like a smaller radius underfoot and then a longer radius kind of in the front section and then in the tail section. And the idea of being behind that is that when you push into the ski, you get that middle radius, shorter radius, and you can bend the ski and make tighter turns. And then if you want to kind of stand on the ski and not tip it over as much, you can do longer radius turns and it's nice and smooth. The new 4 radius drive, which is on the N7, they added an additional radius right here at the front that is so it goes from like long in the tails to short underfoot to long in the forefoot section, and then short right in the tip, or shorter in the tip. Let's see, let's just read it here. So you've got 25 in the front, 40 in front of the binding, 17 underfoot, and 22 in the back. So it's a pretty interesting, change of radiuses throughout the ski. And it really, like, I love the Kendo. I think it's great, and it does really, really well. This ski being a little bit wider, it is stronger and a little bit harder to bend. And I think they were trying to create a little more initiation in the front to get it to kind of pull into the turn when you want it to, and it does seem to do that pretty well. Like, this is a very fun, exciting carving ski. I did struggle carving on really firm snow this morning because it was pretty chunky. Like, it must have been warm last night when they groomed, and it was really tough to edge because it was so chunky this morning. But then it softened up, and I was able to just really trench on this ski, and that was a ton of fun. And then in the afternoon or the evening, it firmed up again and kind of got like really nice firm groomers that are still edgeable, and I really, really liked it in those conditions. And I was confidently dragging my hand in almost every turn carving on this ski, which was super fun. Like, I was having a total blast on this guy. It felt very reminiscent of the Kendo and all the things that I love about the Kendo, or the new Mantra 88, but then in a stronger package that also is simultaneously not as catchy. The Kendo, tends to be a little catchy in the tails, and just because it's, you've got the base bevel and it's a skinnier ski, it's just going to have a little bit more catchiness to it. This also is much damper feeling than the Kendo. The Kendo, is pretty damp for what it is, and it is a great all-mountain ski that does all kinds of stuff really, really well. This takes that dampness to a whole new level. I did not find a speed limit on this. I felt like I could have gone, 20 miles an hour faster than I could manage on my local mountain. Like, I probably at most hit 50, maybe 55. I kind of doubt it. It's spring day today. In the morning, we were cooking, and in the afternoon you slow down a little bit just because the snow's a little stickier. But this thing is an absolute rocket. It just wants to go, and it still has a very fun, active carving personality, which is hard to find, and it does create some pretty broad spectrum of turns. You can shorten it up a fair bit, but it is really happy in those medium radius turns, and a ton of fun. So carving performance on this guy is excellent. You could trench in the soft snow, you can sit on top of the hard snow, and you can really just make really, really nice turns. You go off-piste, and it almost feels like a different ski. It's kind of amazing, because you go off-piste and you expect this strong, powerful, on-edge ski, and it's very maneuverable, and it's, I think the long rocker profile of this thing kind of like keeps the tips and tails off, so it's like very maneuverable, like pretty slarvy, and you still have all that edge bite when you need it, and you just push into it, and you unending amount of edge bite. It's really impressive. So on piste really good, your off piste is really good. I skied this thing in spring softer moguls, so it did really, really, really well. I would imagine in fresher snow or firmer snow it's going to be a little catchier, but in the spring soft snow that I got, it was just flawless, super fun, super maneuverable, grip whenever you want it, as much as you want it, and it just kind of slipped and slid and did everything really, really well. It's a bit of a crud buster. You can just point it through things, and it more explodes things than, you know, trenching through them. But just, I mean, as far as like a ski that you could take up any day, really, really, really good. So one of the things that I kind of enjoyed on this, like some lighter skis, you know, you tend to kind of get a lot of movement and a lot of like, you know, the ski wants to wander and gets knocked around by things. This ski doesn't get knocked around. It, you know, like it's a little heavier, so like you got a little more weight to kind of move around, but as long as you're pushing into the ski, you can create all of those turns with very little effort, and then you don't get beat up by the ski. So the effort you're putting into pushing around a little heavier ski kind of like counterbalances the, you know, the effort that you need for the ski to go through something, and this ski just does really, really, really well. It's great. It's undeniably a fun ski that just absolutely makes amazing turns and does surprisingly well off piste, because I, you know, coming off the kendos, I thought that this was going to be a little catchy and a little, you know, more work off piste. I was actually expecting this to be the ski that was harder to ski off piste than the kendo, and I found exactly the opposite. This ski is actually easier to ski off piste than the kendo, which felt counterintuitive to me at least. So anyways, if you guys are looking for a damp, powerful ski that can carve really well and still ski all over the mountain, this has got to be one of the top choices out there, and just a lot of fun while doing it. So if that's what you guys are looking for, this is undeniably fun and just a total blast. So this is Nathan, Always Ski Reviews. Like and subscribe below.